To discuss what is happening in Mexico, and precisely the way in which this is frightfully like the Tequila Robinson case, currently we should discuss it. 4 American sightseers were captured. They were held. Portion of them are not in any event. Returning, they went for something that numerous Americans take a gander at as a shortcut to really getting reasonable clinical benefits, clinical consideration, or medication. We will discuss that, but at the same time, we will discuss how the Mexico government continues to bomb American residents over and over. And again, particularly when you look at what is a major level of their economy comes from Mexican travelers. Currently, how about we get into the story? And afterward, we will discuss the region similitudes that occurred between the Chancellor Robinson's case. Fundamentally, that when this slaughter happened, when this fiasco happened, the Mexico government rushed to put out a BS clarification to make sense of why they were placed at risk that didn't have anything to do with the fact of the matter, was not moored with reality, and how the Mexico government and the U.S. government is doing short of what anything to ensure that individuals are considered responsible. All we should get into this. They say the Americans were grabbed after shooter started shooting at their vehicle in Montamoras, a leading body of city in northern Mexico. This is an immediate statement from the FBI. Each of the 4 individuals had driven from Brunswick, Brownsville, Texas to Mexico on Friday in a white minivan with North Carolina tags on the off chance that you don't know Chick-fil-A Robinson is likewise from North Carolina. It's a vaporous happenstance, yet it is an occurrence. Mexico President Andres Manuel Lopez, or sibling, said Monday that the 4 Americans had crossed the line to buy medication and wound up trapped in a crossfire between 2 gatherings of equipped people. Now this is a PR statement, since when it previously happened they said that they were arrested by, we're speculating, cartel or whatnot battling groups, since they believed that they were Haitian street pharmacists. So they abducted them, you folks, the way that Americans are straightforwardly traveling and going for clinical benefits, going for medication, where simply the shade of your skin, will get you encircled, stitched up, and at last erased, is wild in my psyche. The way that we really want to discuss Mexico's oblivious inclination. Assuming you had salt for white individuals in a convoy for Mexican Americans, in a train for Asian individuals, in a section a troop, would you have felt so agreeable and simple to encompass them? And in a real sense seize them, you all this is enormous. Get this, they said, gracious. This is on the grounds that they area. How is that a reason, since they area how? And this was an authority statement from the public authority. Yet we should get into this. The vehicle was hit by discharges not long after the gathering crossed the boundary in Montemorelos. The FBI San Antonio Division Office revealed in a statement gave on Sunday. Every one of the 4 Americans were put in the vehicle and taken from the scene by furnished men. At the time, the FBI reported a $50,000 compensation in return for the casualties' return, as well as the criminals' capture. A video posted on Twitter on Friday raised public worries, as it seems to show the second the Americans were hijacked. In the video, a lady is seen strolling along prior to being constrained into a white pickup truck min-arm of firearms, and wearing tactical armor carriers seemed to compel a few others into the vehicle. No less than 2 of the casualties were seen being hauled across asphalt toward the truck. This occurred without trying to hide this was an American tag. You heard their accents, you realized they were American, you realized they weren't Haitian, and obvious. There's Haitian Americans, yet my entire point is I'm certain they were making sense of it, and is transforming into a rebellious land. And the way that America isn't setting up stricter travel admonitions, and the way that the Mexico government isn't doing what's necessary to safeguard the travel industry now. For what reason were they going down there? Listen, in light of the fact that they were, as it happened, one of the young ladies had a restorative medical procedure strategy planned for Mexico. As you probably are aware, clinical costs in Mexico are a lot less expensive than America. She was having corrective medical procedure The others were going lower, first saying, "Great, we'll have a charming little excursion." And it turned out badly. You crossed the U.S. line again. How about we get into this on Monday? The U.S. representative to Mexico, Ken Salazar, said in a statement that the Americans were brutally grabbed at gunpoint, that the U.S. organizations were planning with their partners in Mexico to recuperate the missing individuals. President Joe Biden was advised on the circumstance, the White House press secretary, Kareem Jean-Pierre, said on Monday. In the Monday news meeting, such goes after or unsuitable our contemplations are with the groups of these people. And we stand prepared to give fitting consular help. So what happened? You had the American president investigate it. The White House remarked on it. The overseer of the FBI put out a thing. And what befell these individuals? Tragically, 2 of them lost their lives the way that in Mexico, whoever these groups are strong to the point that they spit to spite our leader presently. I'm not going in there being like, better believe it, America, huge and terrible. No, this is what I'm talking about. And they spit to spite individuals that run our country. What do you believe they're doing to you as an icon Taurus? Where do you assume you rank? You are not Kamala Harris. You are not Joe Biden, and you sure are not Ken Salazar, the chief FBI. Where do you assume you assaulted 2 of the 4 U.S. residents who disappeared after the brutal capturing in Mexico last week? Have been found departed to our falsehood. However, one of them has extreme wounds. We don't actually have any idea what befell the ladies or men. Whether they were manhandled, abused, who understands what they view at these individuals as dispensable. They didn't mind. 2 of them were tracked down, gone. One that is showing up, U.S. residents, was injured, and the other was not government and state authorities. Accompanied the 2 enduring Americans to a worldwide extension of the U.S.-Mexico line. The head legal officer, Tamaulipas, affirmed before the workplace of the general of the principal legal officer and Tamaulipas, where the Americans vanished on Friday, reported on Facebook that every one of the 4 residents have been found fascinating in adoration. You said they were each of the 4 found, and afterward, the following day, 2 of them were gone. They said examination and wise conflict keeps on catching those mindful. The gathering of Americans were found because of joint pursuit tasks, as per the principal legal officer. Yet the way in which authorities at last found and protected them stay hazy. Of the 4, 2 of them are dead. 1 individual is injured, and the other one is alive. And at this moment, the ambulances and the remainder of the security faculty are going for them to give their comparing support. The public authority wouldn't even play with the possibility of sharing any insights regarding where or how they were found. In the idea of the injured Americans in wounds, CBS News has discovered that the hijack Americans are Latavia Tim McKee, Shade Woodward, Eric James Williams, and Zendel. Earthy-colored Mexico authorities have not delivered any data about who passed on and who endure. You folks, a caravan of ambulances and FECs moved survivors to a part of the U.S.-Mexico line.